Hi there and welcome back to the Good Tutor Premier Prep SAT course. And in this video we're going to continue our look at the Passport to Advanced Math subsection of the SAT math portion. And we're going to start our look specifically at polynomials and working with polynomials. Now when you work with polynomials, what we mean by that is either adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing them. And specifically in this video, we'll focus on adding, subtracting, and multiplying. We'll look at an example that has us multiply two polynomials, and then within doing so, we'll have to add and subtract to combine like terms. There will be a second video, though, that focuses more on the division of polynomials. Alright, so to start our introduction, a polynomial is an expression made up of exponents, variables, and coefficients. And there are, though, two features that polynomials do not have. A polynomial cannot have a variable in the denominator, and a polynomial must have all exponents be integers, meaning they can't have a fractional exponent. So if you see something that has a fractional exponent, that means it's not a polynomial. So I would go ahead, and if you're writing this down or taking notes, I would go ahead and note the definition of a polynomial and the things that make a given set of terms not a polynomial, because it'll be important to know as you work through the SAT and you practice for the test. All right, so to get into that example, we're asked here if if 3x squared plus 2x minus 4 is multiplied by 5x minus 3, what is the coefficient of x in the product? All right, so now we have ultimately it's going to be a multiplication of polynomials problem. So let's start with that 5x minus 3. Put that in parentheses to make sure it's separated from the 3x squared plus 2x minus 4. All right. So from now, when we multiply two polynomials like this, we're really just going to distribute each of the terms of the first polynomial to the second one. So this first one will look like this. We'll have to multiply like this. Sort of a double distribution, if you will. So 5x times 3x squared would be 5 times 3 is 15. And then x times x squared. Remember, that's an exponent rule. That's x to the first times x squared. We just add the exponents, and that becomes 15x cubed, or x to the third power. All right, so those are good. Now we distribute 5x to 2x. 5 times 2 will be 10. Then x times x is x squared, or x to the second power. All right, now last one for the 5x. 5x will be distributed all the way to that negative 4, which will now be negative 5 times 4 is 20, and then it's just x, so 20x. All right, now we have to do the same with the negative 3 and distribute it to each of those terms of the second polynomial. All right, so now negative 3 times 3x squared would be, again, a negative. 3 times 3 is 9x squared. Now negative 3 to 2x would be negative 3 times 2, which would be minus 6x. And then negative 3 all the way to that negative 4, two negatives being multiplied will make a positive 3 times 4, or a positive 12. So now our entire new polynomial reads 15x cubed plus 10x squared minus 20x minus 9x squared minus 6x plus 12. Now there are some like terms in there, meaning terms that have the same variable raised to the same power. So for instance, 15x cubed doesn't have a like term, but 10x squared and negative 9x squared are like terms. So if we write our final polynomial, we'll write 5x cubed. So that's good. Now we need the difference, or the combination of 10x squared minus 9x squared. So 10 minus the 9 would be a positive 1, or just a positive x squared. It's not good. We've gotten those to the new one. We've combined those. Like terms are also negative 20x and negative 6x. So negative 20, take away 6 more, would be negative 26x. And okay, now we've simplified those. And then lastly, 12 doesn't have any like terms, so we just add the 12. So there is our final polynomial, 15x cubed plus x squared minus 26x plus 12. But our original problem there asked for what is the coefficient of x? Well, the answer is negative 26. So that would be our final answer. Negative 26 is the coefficient, or the number in front of the x term in that final polynomial. All right, so that is it for this problem. Up next, we'll have the factors and graphs of polynomials.